Amanda Johannes is 21 years old. She's definitely too old to be in high school, yet she's under the same roof as kids far younger than her.
It's actually very awesome, you know. We get to share the same bathrooms and we get to talk to them and we can teach them, like study hard in high school so you don't have to come back to adult school.
She can share this advice because half the space at Jamesling High School in St. Henry is devoted to Jamesling Adult Center.
Adult education is basically the reason why there is still a high school in this building.
At Jamesling, they're pulling out all the stops to make their school more appealing to prospective students.
And this sort of obviously explores the motif of graffiti art in the city.
They hope putting an emphasis on the hip-hop culture that interests the young members of their community could bring more students in.
You have to understand what they are interested in and be aware of what they're interested in. Get interested yourself as an educator and build from there. It could be big. I mean, it's very recent. We've seen some sort of bumps in enrollment here and there.
That means art projects that interest the kids, even a recording studio converted from an old chapel run by professional musicians.
We're hopeful that, you know, we can sort of keep the Grim Reaper away and actually make things a lot more pleasant and a lot more positive. Generally, I'm here for the duration and I want to see this place thrive. I want to see it grow. I made a promise to myself that I'm going to stick it out, and when, you know, enrollment doubles, then I'll be ready to move on.
Lakeside Academy in Lachine narrowly saved itself from the chopping block this year and is at under 50% capacity. They're also getting creative in finding new ways to use their space.
So we came up with some different scenarios throughout our proposals. One of the ideas was to have the local youth community center, which is called the Club Zone de la Chaîne, to come into the school. There was talks of renting the gym space that we have. We have a full workout gym that's barely ever used. You know, can we do something with that? The auditorium is always for rent.
Like other schools, they think implementing programs that are a far cry from traditional classes will increase their numbers.
Now it seems that people are taking that initiative to go one step further and go a little bit more innovation, a little bit more creativity. You know, we have a spectacular robotics program that will blow people away. You know, we have a coding program that's going to start. This is all what is coming in our future. You know, it's not just about learning your math and your science. Basically, it's about really going into where we're headed in the future.
Across the board, English schools are doing what they can to attract new students from the ever-shrinking pool of Montreal youth eligible to study within their walls. And it's not just public schools either. After 160 years of being an all-girls school, Villa Maria in NDG is now accepting boys too for the first time. They didn't want to go the way of Queen of Angels Academy. The all-girls school shut down last year and is memorialized with a plaque here at Loyola, the all-boys school in NDG.
There has been an overall decline. Well, I mean, we're part of QAIS, which is the English Independent Network of Schools, and there has been an overall decline in the QAIS schools as well. So we're definitely, the network as a whole is definitely feeling the impact.
This year they've started running radio ads for the first time ever to make themselves stand out from competitors.
Looking for a high school? While Loyola offers first-rate academics, sports, robotics, debating, art, and music, you'll soon discover something more.
Really, it has to do with the fact that every other school is doing it. So I mean, it's interesting because sometimes you do hear from people like, oh, are you on the radio because you're having trouble with enrollment or whatever, which is not the case. But given that everybody else is sort of building up their marketing, we figure, okay, well, we have to be there too.
Though enrollment at Loyola hasn't gone down, the number of applications went from about 400 in 2006 to 200 this year. It's a climate where schools competing with one another to win over students has become increasingly important.
It's a consumer society, and we have people who are basically professional shoppers as parents. So they shop around, they look, they investigate, and they're choosing programs where their children have an opportunity to do something extra.
Riverview Elementary in Verdun also just narrowly avoided shutting down.
To rip that out of a community by closing it down was heart-wrenching for a lot of people.
Sterling Downey is a city councillor from the area who went to this school and sits on its governing board. He wonders why the school can't just share space with the overflowing French schools down the street.
It requires a physical division of the school, so there has to be a division of the two. Now the school can share gymnasiums, they can share a cafeteria, they can share playgrounds, but it requires two administrations. An administration for the English School Board, or the Lester B. Pearson School Board, for example, in this case, and administration for the CSMB. And that's okay. They can cohabitate. They can live together in the same building. Again, we're talking about sharing physical space, not sharing curriculum.
But filling all the vacant space in English schools with French students isn't the solution right now, according to Jennifer Macaron of the Quebec English School Boards Association.
Is it possible? Yes. Is that the #1 choice for most of our schools or our school boards? Probably not.
But she says perhaps the most important factor to the survival of English schools here is the people devoted to them.
It's the community. It's that we're involved and we're committed. And part of that is because we don't say, I have to go to school. We say, I have to go to my school.
And adult ed students like Amanda will help keep James Ling High School alive just by being there and sharing a cafeteria.
It's great that they're saving money and putting 2 schools in one. It's very amazing. I'm very happy to be in this school.